everyone. Welcome to episode 32 of the Tiny Disc Podcast. It's a show about games and life. I'm Robert Scarpanito, and I'm joined here by the tired Jack Cepeda.
Bong bong, everybody, from the top of Cat Mountain in Austin, Texas, coming at you. I'm on top of a mountain of cats, people. That's the name of this mountain, and this is where I dwell now. I moved last week, as you guys heard, and I'm back, and I'm going to summon the strength. I'm praying to the cat gods. Lord, give me the strength, please, to get through this podcast. Thank you.
And we have the ever-excitable Collin Sparling.
Now, is that like kind of like the island of cats that they have in Japan?
Isn't it the island of dogs?
No, there's an island of cats.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I that is for sure the thing. It's an island of cats because I've been watching Abroad in Japan, the YouTube channel. Really cool YouTube channel if you like Japan. The dude like goes through everything about living in Japan, and it's super interesting. But
so
yeah.
Wes Anderson has a movie coming out. I don't know if you guys seen, called Isle of Dogs, and it's about a Japanese dog island. So that's where I got mixed up.
Oh, a Japanese dog island?
Yeah, and it's like stop motion, like that kind of style. It looks really interesting, and like Ed Norton's in it, and all the cast is crazy. So
I don't think I've seen Edward Norton in a movie in a really long time, to be honest with you.
Since the Hulk.
No,
right?
he's been in a movie
Hulk
since then. Just nothing like
that's the last one I saw.
The
Hulk
well, yeah,
and
I
Fight
think
Club.
it's true. Dude, Fight Club is so good.
Don't talk about it. Don't talk about it.
We don't talk about it.
Yeah. All right. I'm not talking about
that was incredibly effective.
Yeah.
it was super effective.
Got him.
I'm sure you're not talking about The Lords of Dogtown, though. That's a good movie.
Never seen it. It's a surfing movie, right?
No, skateboarding.
I mean, it's like land surfing, basically.
It's kind of the same. A fucking the blacktop just comes up and forms a tidal wave.
Yeah.
Board sports.
Yeah. Sports.
Or like boring sports.
Kinda, yeah. I hate to say, you're right.
So, guys.
Hi.
We would like to talk about those things called video games, right, on this podcast?
No.
Yeah.
So,
yes, I do.
Oh.
So, as I'm, in my twilight days at Dave & Buster's, I have to reflect back and just comment on the amount of Five Nights at Freddy's shit I've seen.
Yeah,
because
it's huge.
In our Win store, we get just a ridiculous amount of Five Nights at Freddy's merchandise, like plushies, like
book
pop
bags,
vinyls, backpacks, action figures, like whatever, man. This is like all over the place. It's like fucking might as well be half of a Think Geek or a Hot Topic in there.
For sure.
Yeah, and then we have kids that come in there and wearing like Five Nights at Freddy's shirts and going ape shit over the fact that we have Five Nights at Freddy's posters. Like it's a phenomenon in and of itself.
Wow.
And I don't know if it's really weird to say, but in this particular situation, I feel like I'm the guy, like the old guy that's like, I don't get it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I honestly don't understand the whole Five Nights at Freddy's hype. Okay, so like when the first game came out, I was like, oh, hey, that's pretty cool. It looks like an old school 90s computer game. That is something I would have played when I was like a young kid, but it's scary. It's a really cool I like the gimmick that he's got going on here. And the game exploded in popularity. Streamers were hitting up that game. Markiplier, PewDiePie, everyone and their brother was playing that game on YouTube. And then the dude went on to make 5 sequels, and there's been a million spinoffs. I don't know. What do you guys think of that whole phenomenon? Because I just don't understand how it's such a big thing. And I will say that Five Nights at Freddy's, if I was a kid, games would have scared the bejesus out of me to the point where I wouldn't want to play those. You know what I mean? I don't know. I know it's just basic jump scares, but what do you guys think?
So I kind of think it's really interesting, fascinating that it's kind of supplanted to a certain extent Minecraft. Like I remember Minecraft was kind of like the last big game that was like super uber popular with like young kids, and like you go to the Toys R Us section and it's just a whole, next to the Legos and everything, right? Naturally was just a whole blown out Minecraft section, and Minecraft is still big. Don't get me wrong, it's still a huge game. Yeah. But I mean, when you talk about it now, like the popularity, I don't talk to a lot of kids. But when I go to like the toys, I will go to a toy section like unabashedly, right? Like when I go to Target or something, and I'll check it out, and there always is like a lot of Five Nights at Freddy's. And then you walk through the mall, of course, and like in Hot Topic, like in the window, just tons and tons of T-shirts and and paraphernalia, and it's crazy, man. I mean, I probably would have played it though when I was younger. I was way more into horror games when I was younger because it kind of seemed like that forbidden fruit, kind of seemed like that thing you get in trouble for doing, you know, when you feel a little rebellious. So when I was like 13, like for my 13th birthday, I got the PlayStation 1 version of Doom.
Whoa,
and,
snap.
You were edgy back then.
I was super edgy. I was like, oh my gosh, this is incredible. Like go to hell and, you know, and wreak havoc, you know. And so I felt a little rebellious back then. I imagine that's probably what is part of the appeal anyways. I think it's an interesting game. I can't believe they're on what, like part 6 or 7 or something like that.
Like
what?
that.
Wait, what? They're still making them?
Dude, dude comes out with a new Five Nights at Freddy's game like every 6 months, and it sells like fucking hotcakes.
Dude, yeah, they have to keep it fresh, man, because people master those games.
Man, that game fell off my radar like real quick. I remember like back in the day, you know, people were making all these videos about Five Nights at Freddy's. Well, one, like Let's Plays, right? And then videos about why that game is so popular. And then like Matt Pat made a video about like the deep lore of Five Nights at Freddy's. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Stop it.
The deep lore of Five Nights at Freddy's.
Look, I get it. You know, I'm the kind of guy who'll play Call of Duty Zombies for the lore in that game, but it's fucking Chuck E. Cheese on crack. That's what it is.
Yeah, Chuck E. Cheese really lost opportunity here. They could have cashed in.
Oh yeah.
Oh, fucking hardcore! They could have cashed in.
Five Nights at Chucky's easily could have done that.
How is that not a thing already? Yeah, I remember also Slender Man was kind of a big horror game too. Like
yeah,
not that long ago.
around the same time. Yeah, I don't know. Like I see. I was really weird as a kid because I was the type of kid that wanted to see like every cult horror movie under the sun. Like I want to see like, you know, Nightmare on Elm Street, you know, Friday the 13th and all of its terrible sequels, like, you know, and all the latest horror, whatever, supernatural movies that were coming out.
Right.
But for the life of me, I could not play scary games when I was younger, dude. They scared the piss out of me. Like I couldn't even listen. This is how much of a fucking wuss I was. Like I was scared of the monsters in Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time.
Wow.
I mean, they were kind of creepy, but
I mean, they were, but like to like, you know, I don't know, 6, 7-year-old me, I was like, what the fuck? This is scary.
So,
but then I'm like, I'm gonna go and, you know, watch I don't know, whatever horror movies out at the time, Boogeyman or whatever the hell was coming out at the time.
One weird quirk I had when I was younger is that I would watch all the Friday the 13th movies, but then when it came to the NES game, I was like, nah, I'm good. I just wouldn't play the NES game. Like, I
don't know. Funnily enough, the what's the second Prince of Persia game in that trilogy?
Warrior Within.
I remember the big dude in that did scare me when I was younger.
Really?
The guy,
I know what you're talking about.
You're always running away from him and you can't kill him until like the end.
Yeah, I know. Ratash, is that his name?
It was something dumb.
You know what scares me when I'm older now in video games? That part in fucking God of War 3 where you have to put your thumb through that dude's skull. Like, you remember that part?
Oh, Poseidon.
Yeah. That's terrible. That's gross. And then you have to like click in the thumbsticks too. I'm like, come on, guys.
Yep.
Seriously? Like,
dude,
that kind of stuff is disturbing to me now.
Yeah, I mean, that game's pretty wicked, but like, granted, it was a God of War game. You knew what you were getting into.
So it sounds like Jack's not getting the new God of War coming out on 420.
I've heard that the latest trailer is good, like the story trailer. I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, dude, I'm 100% sold. Like, for
but
sure.
Here's the thing, guys. Like, you know, I've joined the 4K era. Glad to say, excited to say, and so with that is going to be the PlayStation Pro. So now I'm looking for more PlayStation exclusive games to just like, you know, flex the muscles there. So.
I mean,
maybe God of War.
This is the year for it, honestly. I mean, they've got what? Detroit Become Human, God of War, the new Spooderman.
Yeah. Yes, that game looks
Spooderman.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I mean, you're in the right time. Definitely better than last year, right? I mean, I feel like there weren't that many exclusives for the PS4 last year, surprisingly.
Yeah, 2017 was the fucking worst game year for games in history.
I have waited till this moment of getting this TV to actually like really, really, really dive deep in Horizon. So I've kind of disciplined myself, like just wait. And I'm also thinking to myself, like just in my head, like, man, Persona 5 is going to look sick on this.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is Persona 5 doesn't have high res textures probably because it's anime stuff.
The TV will upscale, which is not optimal. Like I agree with that, but I'm mainly excited about the OLED. Like the aspect of it, like the blacks.
The colors and the HDR.
Yeah, it's going to look awesome.
Yeah,
with that game. So that's what I'm really excited about. Not so much the resolution.
So, free tip, real quick though. If for PS4 Pro, make sure you turn boost mode on. Do you know about that?
I'll find out. But yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah. Make sure you do that.
So it sounds like Jack has a lot of Aloy on the horizon for him.
Oh yeah.
But let's talk about some games we've been playing. So, Collin, do you want to kick us off this week?
Yes, so I think last week or 2 weeks ago, I finally bit the bullet and dropped the 20 smackaroonies on the Breath of the Wild DLC.
Ooh.
Have not played that much of it, but what I have played is I got to play the Trial of the Sword, which is the trials you can do by going to the Korok Forest, and after you get the Master Sword, you can talk to the Deku Tree. You can be like, yeah, place your Master Sword back in the pedestal, and you can do some really hard levels. Essentially, we're gonna take away all your stuff, and you're completely naked, and you got to get through a bunch of challenges.
Naked Link.
Yeah, naked Link.
Punish
so
Link.
I'm like, cool, whatever. So of course the first few levels were like pretty damn easy, and it gets to the point where you have to face like one of those what are the giant rock golem things called? The like Talos something
like that. Yeah.
Something, yeah. The one with the giant weak spot on its back and you just shoot it and then it dies eventually. Well, I got all the way to that level and it was probably about 5 or 6 levels in. And there's explosive barrels in the level. And what they don't tell you is if it throws rocks at the explosive barrels, it blows up. And I was next to those explosive barrels and I died in one shot.
Rip.
And
sadness.
the problem is there's no saving. And I learned that the hard way. So you had to completely restart. I'm talking like it reverted back to my last save before I wasn't even in the Korok Forest.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I'm
Dark
like
Souls ass shit right there.
Yeah. So I'm
This
like
is endgame stuff, right? This is all endgame.
yeah, pretty much. This is pretty much endgame stuff. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna put this down for now because that really pissed me off how I died, to be honest. So I came back like a day later, went back through, beat the Talos Golem thing, whatever, and turns out you get like to a reprieve spot, like a rest spot where you know, it gives you a bunch of like resources, food, weapons, and all that stuff. Just gives you a whole bunch of stuff to like ready you up for the next round. And then you go into it, and a couple levels in, there was a water level where it's basically just there's like a couple of wooden platforms, but otherwise the ground is water. And there's a bunch of those like what are they, Lizalfos enemies, like the lizard enemies. And so what happened was I got attacked by Lizalfos, knocked off the wooden platform, knocked in the water. Lizalfos jumps in after me, and it's one of the electric ones.
Nice.
Dang.
So you died.
I died.
Yeah.
Fair to say.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh, so I'm going to load up right at the rest spot, right? That's like a checkpoint. Nope. You are restarting from the very, very beginning, my boy.
Dang. Is there anything you can do about that?
I tried to save. It doesn't let you.
Wow.
That really sucks.
Yeah, I mean, unless someone knows otherwise or something special that you can do, as far as I know, if you die, you are starting at the starting line.
See, I wasn't joking when I said punished Link.
Yeah.
And that's not even on master mode. Like I hit up my buddy afterwards. I'm like, dude, you know, like the sword trials. He's like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, fuck those things. He's like, yeah, try and doing them on master mode. LOL. I'm like, yeah, whatever. My buddy's a masochist gamer, so
I don't know. Isn't the reward for that though? Is that you basically always get the Master Sword unlocked? Like it's always shiny.
I am pretty sure, like, yeah, because it's like to unlock the true power of your Master Sword, do these trials and blah, 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 of course.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know if that's worth it, if that's how hard it's going to be.
I mean, yeah, it would take like a lot of trial and error, I feel like, at least for me personally, to finally get through it. Like, I could get through it if I really kept at it, but I don't know if I feel like putting in the time.
See, I find that really funny because I also kind of recently decided, I'll throw another 20 shekels at Nintendo and get this sweet DLC. And I loaded up Zelda, which felt kind of amazing to do that again on the Switch, right? And then I just ran around and killed random things and picked up random, I was just like exploring again instead of like, oh yeah, there's DLC I need to get through. I just like jerked off and like cut down trees. And, just like did all the random stuff you can do in the game.
Yeah.
Right. You didn't even bother touching the deal. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I know. So I paid $20 to play what I've done a year ago.
You know what's ridiculous is like when you first initially buy the DLC and you boot up the game, right after you first buy it, right? It's like have this quest, have this quest.
Yeah.
It goes on for like 5 or 10 minutes. It's like you now have this quest, this quest, this quest. Link, help me, Link. You're my only hope. And like you're just getting like 5,000 messages all at once. It's like you turned your phone off for like an entire day, and then you turn it back on, and it's just like blowing up. Yeah,
exactly.
So I don't know. There's plenty more to do in this DLC. I'm sure like the rest of the stuff is probably pretty fun, and it's a reason to come back to Zelda. So I don't know. I'll figure something out.
My great shame is that, as you may already know, I've bought this DLC twice. I bought it on the Wii U, and then I just never picked up. Yeah, I know. Then I never picked up Zelda. Then I was like, it came time to buy Zelda on Switch, right over winter break, and I was like, should I just buy the whole thing together? I know I'm going to want it. I know I'm going to want that horse motorcycle, basically. Then come to find that thing is like really hard to get. You don't just like buy the DLC and then you have it.
Yeah, you
have
to
gotta earn the crap out of it, and it's like hard. And it's like I don't think you can do that like as soon as you boot it. Like when you start a new game, like I think you have to be pretty strong to be able to do all the shit you have to do for it. So that's a work in progress, man. But I still love Zelda. It runs really well on Switch when it's docked. And I still love that game. That's a great game.
Yeah, it really is. Do you guys want to know what else is like a really fucking great game?
No.
Okay. Jack, what have you been playing?
No. Okay. Jeez. Called my bluff.
So I've been playing quite a bit of Dragon Ball FighterZ since it came out.
I hear there's a fireball button. There's just a dedicated fireball button.
There is, yeah, and then you can modify it with quarter circles.
Bro, yeah, you just kind of throw fireballs. I was watching, wait, you said what the game was already, right?
Yeah.
I wasn't even like, I was like,
Whoa.
I was ready for it. But that stream with like Sean Schemmel versus Chris Sabat, the commentators are like, yeah, he's throwing fireballs. I'm like, guys, you're like, you know enough about Dragon Ball to be commentating this thing, and you're not calling them ki blasts, like, please.
Well, actually, so when FighterZ was played last year at EVO, there was a big thing because the commentators were saying, "Oh, look at that ki blast! Oh shit, he just launched that Kamehameha all the way across the screen," like using the actual Dragon Ball names. But there were people at EVO who were like, "Oh, this is a fighting game tournament. Use the common term, you pleb. It's projectiles." Shit like that. The shit that Jack probably knows more of, right? Because
serious?
they didn't use actual fighting game terminology, people got really upset. And I'm like, I get it. Dragon Ball FighterZ is being slated to be like a pro fighting game level game. But at the same time, like, come on, it's a Dragon Ball game.
Who cares?
Right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna shout out all the names of the attacks.
Oh, absolutely. So I've been playing it for maybe like 7 or so hours. I think I've got a team where I'm feeling kind of confident in that team. And what I think is my favorite thing about the game, like aside from it being like a Dragon Ball game, is that as a fighter, what I've always thought was hard for like selling someone in like, hey, you should pick up fighting games, are really fun, is that whenever you watch someone play a fighting game, it's one of those games where it's extremely fucking obvious when someone doesn't know what they're doing and it's like just button mashing, right?
Oh yeah, one hundo.
Like,
yeah,
like it's so easy to look like a handicapped
Even
person.
in that game, though, it seems like it's harder to tell in that game.
Yeah, because with that game, it's really like, even if you're a button masher, first time fighting game player, it's so easy to look cool. And when you look cool, you feel cool, right? And like it's just that nice little rewarding feedback of like, yeah, I just launched this really cool combo and I don't really know what I did, but it felt easy to do it. And that makes it just kind of like an easy fighting game. It's like a really good entry fighting game, I think. But it does have enough depth where like someone who's been playing a lot of fighters can still mix and match things up, kind of figure out how to do things differently, and know about overheads, low hits, etc., etc. So I don't know, I think there's just a lot of potential. Obviously it's still a little early for like tier lists and like how high level people can get, but I'm excited for the future of fighters. And so far I've been playing a bit of the story mode. Like I'm maybe 4 hours into the story mode.
Is it good?
It's all right. It feels like every other Dragon Ball Z movie where it's like, here's the villain, and then good guys beat him. Yay.
Yeah, good guys beat him. Goku comes in and Kamehamehas him to death.
But what I do like about the story is that it's the basic setup is like there are waves, like unexplained waves going around the world that's basically putting every fighter at the same power level. So that's their explanation for like Goku can't save the day because everyone's as strong as Goku now. And like all of the peanut gallery side characters are like, we don't need to rely on Goku anymore, we can fight ourselves. And it's just like they make such a big deal about it, and I'm just like, is this Arc system basically telling Dragon Ball that their show is bad because they all rely on one character?
Yeah, incoming convenient fan service, auto balance in your fighting game, I guess.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, though, dude, Jack, if you followed Super like Robert and I do, you'd know that power scaling is just out the window. There's no such thing as power scaling anymore in that show. It's like anyone can beat everyone in that fucking show. It doesn't matter anymore anyway. Yeah. So they didn't even really have to do much to justify it at this point anyway.
Yeah, I just found it really funny, and definitely the best part about the story, which Collin, you will appreciate this, a lot of Dragon Ball fans will appreciate this, is that there are a lot of small moments of just like fan service of like conversations you wish happened in the show just happening here in this game. Like there's a point where Krillin's like, oh man, I hope 18 and Marin are safe. I told them to, stay inside and don't go outside because it's gonna be scary out there. And Goku's like, yeah, but isn't your wife stronger than you though? And Krillin's like, I mean, yeah, but you don't need to say it so bluntly. I don't know, it's just like I just love that little moment because I've always thought that in my head, never seen it like happen on the screen until now.
Oh god, I love Dragon Ball so much.
Yeah, it's so good.
It's so fun.
Yeah, Jack, you totally get it because you're a Dragon Ball fan, right? You know all of these characters.
Anime. Man. I'm glad you're enjoying the game. I've heard, to be honest though, I've heard mixed reviews about it. I've heard some people love it. I've heard some people like lukewarm on it.
Yeah, the people that don't like it are people that are like, well, they should have just made another Budokai Tenkaichi game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm seeing pretty positive reviews from like the major sites.
I would say though that if I were to play a Dragon Ball game, obviously this would be the one.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah, this is I think, at least to me, this is the Dragon Ball game.
Yeah, the only gripe I could say I have so far is that server issues came up like a lot in the first few days, where like they didn't have enough servers. So like if you wanted to play online from the get go, like you're kind of tossing some dice there. But I mean, for me, that wasn't as big a deal because I was like, well, I'm just gonna do practice mode and probably like story mode. Like I don't want to be online like right there day one. So
right.
I think this is probably the most well marketed Dragon Ball game there has been.
Yeah,
I feel like this game has gotten more press. Like there's been plenty of betas, plenty of people playing the game, plenty of streamers playing the game. Of course, all your pro fighting game players have gotten the game early, which I don't know if that actually happened with like the Xenoverse games or Raging Blast before that or any of that shit.
No, but I mean, they also weren't fighting games.
That's what I'm saying. But like, that's only going to help garner hype. And on top of that, they capitalized on this hilarious Twitter beef that was going on between Chris Sabat and Sean Schemmel, which was an insanely smart marketing idea on their end.
Explain. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Right.
So
yeah,
Chris Sabat, the voice of Vegeta and Piccolo, and I can't remember the other characters. And Sean Schemmel, the voice of Goku. They had a quote unquote Twitter beef where they're like, yeah, well, I'm calling you out, Sean Schemmel. I'm going to whoop your ass in Dragon Ball FighterZ. Let's do it. Fundational name where and when, and let the powers that be decide our fate, and blah, blah. I don't know. It was fucking huge, hilarious fan servicey thing.
Yeah, because both of their characters.
It wasn't a real beef then.
No, it was a fake beef because both of their characters are like longtime rivals in the show.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Right.
Cool.
And so they came together and they literally rented out like an esports arena in like LA or something like that. And they had like a huge event for it and everything. And they had like a bunch of prelude fights and they made it into like almost like a UFC fight type event. Yeah, it was pretty hilarious. But
wow, awesome.
So I don't know. I mean, I'm having fun with it. I definitely can say like I'm glad that I picked up a lot of fighting games like in the year leading up to this game to help me like feel better about it.
Yeah, what Robert's trying to say is he whooped my fucking ass, but
that's true. But I will say this is kind of weird. So fight sticks don't work with it naturally.
Oh, you had to go in and like Joy to key or whatever.
Well, I needed to download like third-party software that would convert all my fight stick input to like controller input.
Sucks.
Yeah, which I'm like, did you seriously make a fighting game that doesn't support fight sticks? Like, what
That's
are you
so
doing?
weird. Did it introduce lag at all that you can perceive?
No, it was all fine. So it wasn't
Wow.
bad. Yeah, it's like it was weird. Like I'm able to use it through my Steam Link, and like the Steam Link is converting all of my inputs to controller input.
Yeah, because I think it's because it
Whoa.
reads it as a PS4 controller and it natively supports that. So.
Yeah.
So you're playing on a TV that's not even but on PC you're streaming it and there's still no lag.
No lag. Nope.
Interesting. Okay.
So yeah, that's what I've been playing. Hella fun. Great fan service. Great video game. Dragon Ball FighterZ, y'all. This is it.
Yeah, I need to buy it.
It's exciting. Jack, what have you maybe been playing?
I've been doing life. I'm so exhausted. I'm so
You just sound so defeated.
I'm so tired. I just want to take a nap so bad. I'm not even doing a bit. I'm just I know what it is to just like work yourself to the bone. So I made the mistake. I'm not going to do this again. Thinking that we could pack all our stuff in the course of like after work in a course of 7 days. Right? Like, oh, we'll just work full time, then we'll come home and pack. And like in that short time we'll be done. And yeah, we got it done because we had to. We didn't have a choice, right? But man, did it suck. It sucked so bad. It sucked so bad. And we were like getting like literally like 4 hours of sleep, 3 hours of sleep a night.
Yeesh.
For like a week straight, then going to work full time, then coming back packing. It was crazy, man. So, thank you guys for holding down the fort last week while I was doing all that crazy madness. But the payoff was worth it, man, because where we live now, we're loving it. It's awesome. I'm in the process. I'm in the process. You can see, I still have boxes, of stuff around, and so I'm in the process now of unpacking, going a little bit slower, going at a more natural pace now, a more sustainable pace. And that day was crazy that we moved because we had the movers come and move our stuff, obviously, and then right when we got to where we're moving, IKEA had like a massive delivery. It's kind of a delivery where the IKEA guys are actually mad at you. they were copping attitude, dude. They're copping dude with me. They're like, is this really all yours? Like, they were not joking. They were not happy about it. Yikes. And I go, yeah, is this a big order? They go, if this isn't a kitchen, this is insane.
How much shit did you order?
Well, a lot of stuff. I got a lot of stuff.
Obviously a kitchen.
Right, and not a kitchen. And and the thing about IKEA that's beautiful is they have one flat rate for anything. You could literally buy the whole store of IKEA and it'll only still cost you X amount of dollars. That's as it would if you were getting one box delivered. Yeah. So I was like, well, I'm going to take advantage of this. And so we got a king size bed frame, which is awesome. We got a love seat to go with our chase lounges. Is this boring to talk about?
I mean, here's the thing. I love IKEA. So hearing all this to me is like, yeah, just lather it all over. Just keep going.
I just want to hear. I want to hear it because I want to hear why these guys are so fucking pissy.
I got a dining room table and 6 chairs. So all that there is like the biggest stuff, right? And then I got various mini things. Like we decided to do, instead of doing like one big coffee table, we actually did 4 identical square tables that we're just going to push together in the middle, but then we can also like pick one up and move them, scoot them around, because I kind of underestimated how big the couch is now. It's huge. It's like maybe like end to end, it's like 15 feet maybe. Seriously.
Wow.
And yeah, there's 2 chase lounges in it too. So I kind of underestimated, like it's seating for like 8 people probably. And so we have that. And now I'm also in the process of like building like a smart home, right? So I don't know. Are you guys familiar with Arlo and all those cameras?
Oh, so it's like security cameras. Oh yeah,
right? Yeah. So it's it's like the world's first like purely like truly wireless security camera. So I have like security cameras now, and I don't have to worry about running wires all throughout the house, which is like a big barrier entry for me. So I've got that. So I'm like on the cloud now. I'm watching like all my entrances and stuff, and I have all the alarms set where if they detect motion or et cetera, et cetera. Oh, so shit. when I was in Dallas the other day, I'm like, I'll just check out the homestead there. Click the app, and I could see everything that was going on. It was pretty cool. So
that
I'm doing
feels freaky though, I will say.
And then you can talk to people too. Like if you can see them, you can like turn on the mic and be like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And they can hear you.
No No way.
Yeah,
Oh my
totally.
God.
Yeah, there's microphones and there's speakers in each camera.
So are you telling me you could be like in Afghanistan, and as long as you have Wi-Fi and I'm in your home, you're like, hey, Robert, what you do? You trying to open my door there?
Hey, that's my orange juice. Don't drink that. Yeah.
You turn on your camera, you just see your cat pissing all over your tower.
That'd be so angry.
Stop it. Stop it.
Hey,
Stop it, Mr. Fluffy.
Yeah, that'd be hilarious.
This is Cat God. Stop it.
So I set that up, which took a while, even though it was wireless. It still took a while. Set that up, and then I also am in the process of setting up those Philip Hughes, those Wi-Fi light bulbs. You guys know about this?
I want those.
Dude, those are dope. They're really cool. And this place we live, I just hit my hand. Sorry.
Nice.
And this place we live has the recessed lighting, like in the ceilings. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's like, so man, it looks like so pro, and you can just like turn the colors, like 16 million colors, man. You can do, or different kind levels of white light. Because I don't know about you guys, but I've become over the years really sensitive to like what kind of light is on me. Like, if I'm in the library,
I'm the same way, dude. I'm the same way.
Like, I need to have chill, low key, like warm white light to just relax. You know, like, I can't have that harsh, like, really blue
white
like,
LED.
Yeah, I can't stand that. I mean, it's supposed to energize you and keep you awake and stuff. So I get that, like maybe early in the morning that has some value to wake up. But any other time when I'm just trying to chill at my home, like if I see some light like that, it just really irks me, and I gotta like fix it. I don't know. Anyways, so I've got the smart light bulbs going, and now I'm also in the process of getting one of those rings. You guys know about that?
No,
it's like a Wi-Fi. It's like a Wi-Fi doorbell.
What?
And so when people ring, and I have to do it here because this display, it's so big, I can't hear the doorbell. But anyways,
that's what she said.
It's like Wi-Fi, right? And it goes on your door, and it has a camera, and they hit the button, and when they hit it, you get like a notification on your phone that someone's at your door.
And then you can see who it is, and your phone dings, right?
And then you see the picture, and it's a real-time video, and then you can talk to them as well from your phone, like anywhere in the world, and or from wherever else. So it's kind of like the cameras, but it's a doorbell.
I'm not home. I'm at the market right now. Just hang out right outside my door. It's fine.
Just leave it under the just leave it under the bench. Yeah, totally. That's exactly like one of the use cases they use in like their commercials and their marketing. So man, I'm in deep with that now, and like all this is like working together and like being integrated. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of fun making like a smart home. So I've got that going, and yeah, eventually here I'm going to be, like I said, I'm going to be buying that PS4 Pro. I'm gonna try and go with the white because I think the white would look better with.
Dude, I'm so jealous of you because I love white consoles. They're just so nice looking. They're just so nice.
Yeah,
sounds a little racist.
The white.
Yeah, that's fine.
Damn it, Robert.
That's
listen,
fine.
Listen.
Hey, his favorite console's black. Okay.
Racist?
No, never mind. You know how someone's like, "No, my best friend is black, man. Shut up." So anyways,
I was like, wait, my favorite console's like the PlayStation 1, bro. Come on.
So that's kind of been my life, man. And I seriously like just literally for like the last 15 days straight, like I've not had any kind of just downtime to really just chill, man. So I'm looking forward to going to bed early, like a grandpa tonight. Pretty much right after we record this, I'm crashing. But I think like, you know, my goal is to have the TV mounted and the soundbar mounted and everything hooked up by like in time for the Super Bowl this Sunday, and just relax. And like my whole goal is just to be done and unpacked by Sunday. Is that like realistic? Because I heard that like people usually take 2 weeks to unpack. Do you guys take a long time to unpack? Because I usually unpack pretty quick.
I'm pretty quick usually.
It depends. Like technically when I like first moved here to like Columbus and stuff like that, I technically didn't fully unpack until, man, like 6 months in.
Oh, shit.
Because here's the thing.
I've been there and done that for sure.
Yeah, and it's mostly because like I'm a mild game collector, so like I had quite a few games when I moved here, but I literally had nowhere to put them. Like, I mean, obviously you guys listening can't see, but like I have like a shelf behind me, and that like those shelves weren't there. I didn't have like any shelves or anything to put anywhere. Yeah. But after I got a job here, working at this apartment complex, I salvaged a lot of furniture because people would just leave shit behind. Mm-hmm. So now I have a shelf in my closet. I have a shelf behind me. I have a shelf out in my living area. And now I have them just full of all my games and all my records and books and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. So, and that's when I fully, I guess, unpacked. So you could say I didn't unpack until probably about actually a year in to be technical. But yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, I'd like to unpack soon, like real early on, just because I want to just be done with it and just so I can feel like I can relax. So Again, my goal, if I can be done by this Sunday, man, I will be very, very happy, and the chilling can commence finally.
I believe in you, Jack, 100%.
Thank you.
Well, that sounds like a very fun game you're playing. But let's move on to something else, guys. Let's talk about some news. All right, so let's start with two kind of sad stories here, just to kind of kick things off real nice. So, Paragon, do you guys remember that game?
Yeah.
What are you going to say about Paragon?
What?
What are you going to say about Paragon?
That
I
it's
have nothing.
good,
I mean, I don't have much to say about Paragon. I know I have some friends that play it. That's about it.
Yeah,
it's a pretty big game, isn't it? Epic made it.
Yeah, it's Epic's thing for like MOBA, like shooter MOBAs, basically Overwatchy.
Right.
That's closing April 26th.
What?
It's over.
Are you serious? How
It's all over.
old? That game's not even that old.
No, not really. No.
Yeah,
Dude,
it was completely out of the blue that this is happening.
This is crazy, man. I actually thought to myself, like, oh, there's a ton of games that are out there that are free to play that are actually sustaining themselves and are able to thrive. And it's like, wow, the marketplace must be really vibrant and like really like healthy now because to sustain all these games. And now I'm hearing that this game is getting canceled. Like, wow, I did not expect it this soon. Is this kind of like indicative of them saying, all right, we're just putting all our efforts behind Fortnite now, or what's the deal?
Yeah, that's my guess. I mean, they're not explicitly saying that, but like, it's kind of obvious that Fortnite is way more successful than Paragon right now.
Yeah, I mean,
Wow.
Fortnite has gained a lot of steam. It's not as explosive as say PUBG was, even though it gets a lot of comparisons for obvious reasons.
Sure.
But I mean, yeah, Fortnite is gaining a lot of steam, so I would completely understand if they're trying to put more resources into that because that's what's going to make them money.
Wow.
You know, but I have a handful of friends that I feel like Paragon has like a cult following sort of thing. I do have a handful of friends that play it all of the time.
Really?
It's like their game. Yeah, it's like how a lot of people are into League. They were into Paragon. You know?
Is it that kind of behind the shoulder view a la Smite?
I can't speak to Smite, but yeah, it's like a third person action MOBA.
Okay.
Almost.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, that's kind of telling, right, of where everything's going. Wow.
I mean, at least it's really nice of Epic that anyone who spent money on Paragon, because it's a free to play game, but you can buy like skins or whatever. Anyone who spent money will be getting a full refund, which
that's crazy.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
Actually,
yeah, that's like the first time I've ever heard anyone do that.
Yeah, I can't believe they're giving a fucking. That's a lot of
If
money,
someone
bro.
bought the game day one?
No, they're offering a full refund to everyone for every purchase on any platform.
At any time?
I guess so.
Unreal. I've never heard of that before.
Dude, that's so much money.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Or maybe that's why they're closing, because maybe it's not that much money.
Or maybe Fortnite's making so much money that they're like, it's a drop in the bucket.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, but isn't the Battle Royale mode's like free though? How are they making money?
Yeah, are they selling like microtransactions?
I think
they're selling crates.
Skins
They're
and
selling
shit like
crates,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Has to be.
So,
has
man,
to be. I still haven't tried Fortnite to see what the hype was about.
Oh, it's free, dude. You got a PC.
Yeah, I know. I should
We
try.
should play. We should
try
play. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun, but I always, when I'm playing it, I'm always like, I'd rather be playing PUBG. I'm always thinking that.
See, I hear that from you guys, and then I've had some other people that are like, "Oh yeah, Fortnite's better," because apparently
what?
Fortnite has I think a lot of people like the you can have like the crafting mechanic. Yeah.
See, I don't care for that. It's fine. I'm fine with it, but to me, that's no. I'm a PUBG guy for sure, and I've tried both of them. You know, I played a lot of hours of both the games. So pour one out for Paragon though. Yep. I did not expect to hear this soon. Wow.
Yeah, don't pour all of it out though, because you have to pour some more out for Gigantic.
Another MOBA down. Another MOBA bites the dust. This was truly depressing.
You know, I think we were talking about you guys playing that game in like one of our very first episodes. It had to have been.
Yeah, Jack and I played this like a while ago.
I like this game. I don't know if I love it, but it's free. It's pretty cool. I think like game design. It's kind of unique. I was kind of sad. It's one of those games I always wanted to keep in my back pocket. Like, yeah, I'll go back and play it. It was always a good time. I never had a poor experience playing the game.
Yeah, I thought it was all right. Even though the idea of it was unique, it still in the end boiled down to a lot of similar other MOBA mechanics to me.
Yeah.
So I was like, I mean, I played a bit of it, but I'm probably not going back. And now, I mean, I guess I have until July 31st to go back.
Wow. Like, what am I going to play now? Are you going to make me play that Bush League of Legends and Dota 2? Dang it.
Yeah. Yep.
Get my MOBA going.
But although as like kind of reparation or whatever, I guess, all the heroes up from now up to July 31st are going to be free. You don't have to buy them anymore. And anything on the store is getting a huge discount. So, I mean, that's cool, I guess.
They should like let some like fans or somebody just like keep a server running.
Fan servers.
Yeah, something, man. I mean, it's just sad to see games like just die.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean,
like
granted,
this.
I think, dude, since we talked about it, I have not heard a word about it. Though.
Same.
It has not really like come up in the sales cycle, or I'm sorry, in the news cycle at all. It really hasn't come up.
Kind of.
I guess so, right? But I like I said, it was a game I had a good time with. I had no problem recommending to people. It was free. Check it out before it's gone. I'm definitely playing more of it before it's gone. You know, I'm because I will miss it a little bit.
Right, and I think that it kind of says something that a game like Paragon and a game like Gigantic, which both are games that weren't even running for that long. Gigantic even like way less time than Paragon was. That
was a 2017 joint. Like
that's what I'm saying. Like it just I think that's kind of telling how saturated each respective genre of game is. You know what I mean? Like it's. There's just so much that I mean people are going to stick with what they like, you know what I mean?
Like,
it's hard to pull people away from what they're used to playing, you know what I mean?
It's like feast or famine, because these are two, in my opinion, kind of like B tier games, right? Like in the MOBA space. Like they're not the worst, they're not the best, they're good at what they do, you know, but they're not going to take over the world. So it's like feast or famine. Like I said, like you're either your PUBG, your Rocket League, or you're either your Fortnite, or you're dead kind of in the water. You don't really have a chance. It's kind of
right. And in the MOBA space, dude, if you're not Dota 2, League of Legends, or Overwatch, good luck. You know what I mean?
Yeah, those games just couldn't really garner and foster a strong community. So
yeah, I can't wait until 5 years from now we're going to be saying the same thing about like up and coming battle royale games.
Yeah, exactly.
Small B tier battle royales.
Right.
Yep. So Microsoft, those Xbox peoples, they're apparently, according to an unnamed but reliable source from Polygon, they allegedly are looking into buying other companies like, I don't know, that small company known as Electronic Arts, or perhaps Valve, or the PUBG Corp.
There's no way any of this is real. There's no way.
I think it's Jason Schreier put it best. It's like there's whisperings of so and so buying so and so thing all of the time. This is all like just rumors that got blown out of proportion, sort of thing.
I'm calling shenanigans. My bullshit detector is going off the charts here. There's no way.
Yep, I'm with Jack.
I'm sure there are some people in Microsoft who are like, man, wouldn't it be cool if we owned EA? But in the same way where I'm like, man, wouldn't it be cool if I owned a mansion? Yeah.
I kind of see where they're coming from, right? Like, oh, we don't have any first party games, so let's just buy a developer that can just do all our first party. But
yeah,
like, no way.
It's not a bad move, I guess.
There's no way this is happening, because I'm standing by what I said earlier. There's no way that Madden and FIFA and NHL and all those other EA sports games are going to go single platform. It's impossible. Even if that single platform was like play anywhere, right? Like PC/Xbox. Still, I'm telling you guys, there's too much red tape to cut through with this. It gets way too messy.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I don't even know.
Like, EA is one of the big third-party developers. Like, big enough where if EA announced, like, we're making a console, I could understand that.
They have their own press conference at E3, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, I was talking to someone about this the other day, and it was like, I mean, this would be an insane fucking power move on Microsoft's part. Like, Microsoft dropped $2 billion to buy fucking Minecraft, right?
So wasn't it 4? Oh, well.
maybe it was. I don't know. It was in the billions. That's what I remember.
It was in the B's for sure.
That's what I'm saying, and that's just for one property. Granted, Minecraft is a massive IP.
It's an empire, basically.
Yeah. But buying all of EA, that's like hundreds of billion dollars.
That's a worldwide corporation, right? I think
that's what I'm saying.
I think their valuation was in the 38 billions.
Dude, it has to be. And what I don't understand is actually, and what not a lot of people know, is that EA is owned by a Chinese company called Tencent. And
Tencent owns EA.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. That's scary.
So, but Tencent also owns Riot Games, and they also owned Actiblizzard.
Yeah. Wow.
So I don't even know how a deal like that would work. Like if EA, or if Microsoft tries to buy EA.
I'll believe it when I see it, but let's talk in hypotheticals here. Let's say it actually does go through.
It's like Disney buying Lucasfilm all over again, if not bigger.
Dude, that's insane. I mean, their first party property is going to be the best in the industry. I mean, I'm reticent to say that like compared to Nintendo, right? But it certainly would rival Nintendo if all EA games were on one platform.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Microsoft try to buy EA like a couple years ago? Or not EA, fucking Nintendo. Microsoft tried to buy Nintendo a while before.
No. I don't even believe that. I never heard that before.
I don't remember that.
Robert's starting rumors.
Here, you know what? I'm going to Google this right now.
No, I've never heard that before. There's no way. I mean, Nintendo would never sell, especially to an American company. They're so proud of their Japanese heritage. There's no way.
Yeah.
When Microsoft tried to partner with Nintendo and Sony for a game console. Okay, so not exactly buy, but yeah.
Oh, okay. They were trying to do a one console future?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, because originally there was rumblings before the original PlayStation came out that Sony and Nintendo were going to do a console together, and we all know how that one turned out.
Yep. Yes.
But I don't know, dude. This would be crazy as hell. Like, I mean, the whole Disney buying like Star Wars and all that stuff like that, like that had like kind of an effect on me. But something like Microsoft buying EA or Valve or PUBG for that matter. That would just be, I would feel like I'd be living in a fucking video game post-apocalypse almost.
Yeah. Like to me, Valve is almost as buck wild as EA, if not more so, because it's like Valve is king on the PC like world right now. Whether we want them to be or not, it's hard to deny that Valve has like a really strong stranglehold on the testicles of every PC gamer.
Why you gotta bring up Valve? Why do I feel like I'm the last person on planet Earth that gives a shit about Half-Life 3 and they're never gonna make it?
No, that's not even what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is that Valve owns Steam.
Right.
I'm not saying Steam is the only market for PC games, but if you're a PC gamer, you have a Steam account, no questions.
Right.
I mean, yeah, it's I can't even. I'm sitting here fucking stumbling on my words because I can't even wrap my head around this.
Yeah. But again, I still think it's so unlikely. Like I think this is just bullshit.
It won't happen. It's too huge.
I don't know what the sources are for the story, like a strong source, right? Like people always talk about what if buy this, but there's no merger and acquisition talks going on or anything like that at this point. Like it's just like this all hearsay. So it's important to know that.
Exactly. Movie Pass. Do you remember that? Jack is a proud owner of Movie Pass, the subscription service where you can watch movies for like basically free.
Member, yes, you're right.
Yes, card-carrying member. Some AMC theaters are no longer being covered by Movie Pass, though. Whoops.
They're beefing.
They are.
Chief beef.
Yeah. We heard rumblings of this for a little while now, right? Because I think we did talk about a story some months back about how AMC was like, this is absurd. Like, why should we be okay with this?
How can AMC like block, or I don't know how it's working, like on whose side is this working on, but like how can you like deny a debit card? Because that's all you're paying with,
Yeah.
Do they just tell all their employees, like, if you ever see Movie Pass, like just deny it, we're not allowed to take those? Like it's legal U.S. tender, at that point.
Yeah, I think, I don't know if it would be one of those things where like on the app it would be like, oh, this particular location isn't participating in Movie Pass or whatever. That's the only other thing that I could picture.
AMC's just salty, man. This is like sour grapes, you know. They're just sad that they didn't get in on this action, you know.
Yeah,
and
like what I'm hoping for, honestly, is that Movie Pass turns into a how to phrase this, like a way for independent movie theaters to become a bigger thing. You know, because I feel like as like independent theaters will easily network with Movie Pass and want to work with them. Because can you imagine, like, you live in a world where you can go to AMC, that fancy chain where it's like $10 a ticket, or Movie Pass, go to like your local independent cinema that maybe, sure, it's a little smaller screen, but like it's cheaper.
Yeah, I mean, I have no problem going to Gateway, which is our local independent film.
Yeah, it's a good theater
and seeing every movie. Like, I have no problem with that. You know, most every movie, aside from like movies I'd want to see in IMAX or what have you. But like, yeah, supporting local films for me wouldn't be a huge deal at all. And especially if you throw in the whole Movie Pass thing at all, and that's a really cool thing. But I actually, and I wanted to ask you about this, Jack. I actually heard some stuff about Movie Pass. Apparently, they're doing some pretty sketchy shit. Like, apparently, if Movie Pass, like the app can track you and whether or not you leave a movie early.
Yeah.
And you get like strikes and shit against your account or some shit. You can get locked out.
They did change the terms of service and buried in there. Like, if you're not reading it, if you're just clicking like, yeah, I accept, like, they're basically saying, like, if they catch you like in a 31 day stretch, like leaving a movie early more than once, like they will like strike you, right? And like they could potentially like cancel your membership. Also, if you decide to leave, listen to this stuff too, guys. If you decide to leave Movie Pass now in the terms of service, you cannot rejoin for a period of 9 months. What kind of bullshit is that? That's to make sure people never quit.
Yeah, it's very draconian.
That's very like just anti-consumer, man. I've never heard of such stringent, but I think they realize now, they're like, wow, the people that love this really love this. They're using it all the time. You know, they're basically getting $100 worth of movies for $10 a month, you know, so they pretty much know that they have us by the balls now, which is kind of dangerous and kind of scary.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, but I feel like there's got to be some serious data mining going on there, though. I think that's the trade-off, bro.
Dude,
because
what they're gonna do, I think they're gonna maybe eventually. I think the end game is they're gonna be like, oh man, now to stay a member, you're gonna have a special tier of payment, and if you want a cheaper tier, you're gonna have to like answer surveys and questions and and fan ratings about the movies. Like cinema score, basically, right? Like, we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna sell that data and make more money extra. Like. I can just think of like all the evil ways that this could get real shitty real fast.
Yeah, no shit. I don't know, dude. I love the idea of this, but at the same time, it's like,
it's
damn,
too good to be true.
That's what I'm saying.
It's true though. I'm using it. It's true right now.
Yeah, no, but it's too good for it to be true and not have repercussions in some way.
Right. Well, I mean, these repercussions we're seeing now, like, I don't go to movies. They just don't want people to waste it, basically. They don't want people to put money on their card and then go buy gas. I can understand that. They want people to actually buy movies that they really want to see and then go watch them. And I've never bought a ticket with Movie Pass and not stayed the whole movie because it's a movie I actually wanted to see. So I think they're just finding that people are abusing this in ways that they didn't anticipate, maybe, so they have to like pass these regulations. And again, I'm not trying to defend their actions or whatever. Like, I think that, I think that the fact that you wouldn't be able to rejoin after 9 months is really shitty. But they're doing what they need to do. I think they passed like 1,000 subscribers too, didn't they? Or I'm sorry, 1,000, a million,
just 1,000,
just 1K. No, like 1 million. I think they have over 1 million subscribers now, which is a lot of money, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm still waiting on the sidelines to see what happens here because I feel like there's some bad shit going on in the background.
I'm enjoying the crap out of it, man.
Coming in the air tonight.
As many movies as we watch just for the podcast alone, like it's well worth it for me. So, yeah.
Phil, are you there?
Dude, we sing that song like every 3 shows.
I don't give a fuck. It's a banger. It's a banger to the end of time,
great
dude.
song. Great song.
It's funny.
Dead Cells, that roguelike little Metroidvania game. So that's been in early access and PC for a while. It's slated for a 2018 release sometime later this year. But on top of that, that game is coming to PS4, Xbox One, and the Switch.
It was only a matter of
Dead
time.
Cells.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
only a matter of
honestly, yeah, that excites me. Like, I'm willing to buy it again for Switch, honestly, I think.
Fuck yeah, I'll play it on the Switch.
Oh, yeah, that game sounds so fun to play on the go. And I mean, also, just with the updates they've been giving that game, it's gotten so much better since it once was. I'm only even more excited for whatever the final game is going to look like when it comes out at the end of the year. Well, by the end of the year.
I'm one of the people that like never play. I always drive everywhere, so I never play the Switch on the go. I never really get to. So I'm strict home switcher.
A home
See,
Switch.
I'm kind of like one of those people that's like, it's like they could announce a game, right? Be like, oh, you know, Cookie Cutter Battle Royale game 2018 is coming out for
I'd buy the
multiple
fuck
platform.
out of that game.
It would just be like, you know, crickets for me. I'd be like, yeah, what the fuck ever. Oh yeah, and it's coming to Switch, and I'd be like, and then, you know, I'd be like, give me that shit now.
Pay that Switch tax too. I'm sure it'll be the most expensive version for whatever reason.
Right, exactly.
Can I just say that sounds like an amazing game? Cookie Clicker Battle Royale.
Just add Dragon Ball Z in it, and you're like pre-ordering right now.
It's Vegeta baking cookies for Beerus, and that's happening 100 times.
Please,
And it's
Oh
100
my
people
God.
competing with each other.
somebody stop this man. He's gone insane.
Hey, listen. I mean, I'm just glad to know that there's like a VR arcade in Japan. They have Dragon Ball VR. We know that that's a thing that's happening right now.
Yeah.
And it makes me so happy because eventually, you know, everyone knows that they're eventually going to make a consumer version of that game or some sort of VR game that's Dragon Ball oriented, and it's going to be fucking amazing.
And the day that comes out is a day that so many vibes are going to be broken by people getting too hype, throwing fireballs around in the room.
Yeah, everyone's like, so there's been an overall like 300% increase in noise complaints due to all the people that are screaming in their apartments. All you hear is Kamehameha!
All right. We got two more news items on our docket here. So BioWare, they're working on Anthem, and they're saying, whoops, we're delaying Anthem to 2019. Even though the E3 trailer last year said 2018, if I'm not mistaken.
Boo!
And obviously, this probably has something to do with that little Mass Effect game that came out last year.
You think?
Maybe. I mean,
Trying to
I'm not a,
distance the brand?
yeah, I'm not a betting man, but maybe.
I have a quote for you guys, fellas. Just keep talking. I'm gonna find it.
So
Okay.
I think that they are really going to have to play it smart here because Anthem is designed with microtransactions completely in mind, probably blind loot boxes as well. I think this delay has to do with kind of the fallout, not just of Mass Effect, but also of Battlefront 2. Like,
Yeah.
all that crazy backlash, and then a game that was almost thought as faultless, Overwatch, the way they handled microtransactions. Now I'm hearing it's getting like a lot of pushback, like to change the system as well, or at least like display their odds of how things are going to drop. So I think this is maybe a combination of both reasons why it's delayed.
Well,
Yeah, so I have a real quick, guys. I have via Jason Schreier on Kotaku, but he posted a fantastic fucking thing on Twitter. He's like, this regarding the delay of Anthem on by EA. "Quote unquote, it's not a delay," EA's Blake Jorgensen told the Wall Street Journal, despite the publisher previously announcing the game for a fall 2018 release. Merriam-Webster defines delay as the act of postponing, hindering, or causing something to occur more slowly than normal.
yeah.
Isn't that exactly what's happening?
That's what I was going to bring up next. Yeah, they're trying to fucking 1984 us. And like, no, it was always coming out in 2019, guys. Always.
Yeah,
that was our plan.
Face. People know what that means. Don't
Kofefe.
worry.
Kofefe.
And they gave this argument of like, the fall and winter market in the year is usually full of a lot of high profile games. So we're hoping to launch it in the spring of 2019 because there, this game will have more room to breathe. And it's like, okay, yeah, that makes sense, but just admit that you delayed it. You literally announced on the gaming industry's biggest fucking stage ever,
EA
2018.
E3. Yeah.
Yeah, 2018, guys, 2018, get hype. And it's like, no, it's gonna be 2019. It was always 2019, guys. It was just there was a little smudge, that little space between the tail of the 9 and the, it was supposed to be 19.
Dude, what is wrong with the PR over at EA, man? They cannot get it together. They're just catching L after L.
Yeah.
So dumb.
Dude,
Why do that?
Know, man. They just when you think that like it couldn't get any worse, they just keep digging themselves deeper.
I don't care that it's delayed. So many of my favorite games
I don't
in
either.
the world are delayed.
It doesn't surprise me one bit that it was even going to be delayed. Like everyone was thinking it was going to get delayed anyway.
I was surprised that they were saying 2018. I was surprised.
I was too. Yeah, I definitely didn't think it was a 2018 game.
Guys, they said 2019. What are you guys talking about?
Kofefe.
Actually, in that statement too, they also mentioned that they're working on a new Battlefield game. Yeah, Battlefield. Sorry, it's just like it's so easy to mix.
I heard like something about Bad Company coming back.
It's possible.
I heard Bad Company 3. Yeah,
they're slating it for this October. They just haven't released any updates or information or what it is yet. It's just like, hey, it's coming. Get hype,
dude. Give me another Bad Company. That would be awesome. That was such a good game back in the day, man.
Yeah,
I never got into that series.
Man, it's fun. It's funny too. The writing is great. The first Bad Company was so good, man. It was like semi-open world, like military shooter, man. It was really cool. I don't know. They had really good dialogue, really good talk about Predator. That movie, like I don't know, you gotta check it out. I recommend.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully this Battlefront this year is pretty good. Because the last one was what Battlefront 1, Battlefield.
Yeah, I was like, wait a second, what? Yes.
Battlefield 1. Right, that was.
And then
the last
this next one's going to be Battlefield 2.
Battlefield 1.
That's a natural progression, right?
Battlefield 1, 2.
Battlefield 1 plus 1, so World War II, right?
It just makes me laugh that like these are like the common ways we talk about these wars, right? But like back when you were fighting in World War One, you weren't just like, "Wow, this sure is a tough World War One. I can't wait for World War One to be over." You know what I mean? Like no one thought that before. You know, we just named that after the fact. It's just funny.
Yeah, because they're like back then they're like it's the Great War. Well, now we have the Great War II coming. You know,
the Greater War.
Yeah,
the
wars.
The Great War, but better.
You see, it's like there's like a presentation at like a Nazi regime meeting, and he's like, and you just see up on the screen, 1941, the Great War, Part 2, coming soon.
Part 2. Have you guys seen, there's a really cool YouTube video, just going on a short tangent here, it's like a time lapse. It's just the planet Earth. It's the map of all of Earth. And it starts from like, I don't know, 1600s or something like that, maybe even earlier than that. And it goes through time like, you know, like a year per second or something like that. And it shows an explosion and the size of the explosion, the location of the explosion for how many people died in like an act of war. Like, in real time, it does the course of history in like I would say maybe 3-4 minutes. Have you guys seen this?
No, but that sounds hella dope.
So so you're like watching it, and as the seconds tick by, you're like, and it will show at the top like what war is this? Then you see like all the explosions, how big they are, and then when World War II happens, it's like the whole map. I mean, basically the whole European continent just like explodes in this giant like nuclear cloud. It's crazy.
Sounds about right.
So yeah, it was pretty crazy to see.
Yeah,
check it out.
Last bit of news here. It's very small, very meh, but whatever. But Final Fantasy 15, you can play it in your pocket. You can play it right there on your phone on February 9th.
Who asked for
this? With cute little chibi characters.
Yeah, Chibi Noctis with Chibi Gladio pushing a chibi car in the chibi world.
Please no.
Is it still open world though?
I have no clue. What I remember is that they said they were going to do like 10 chapters or something.
This is like World of Final Fantasy.
No, I think it's supposed to actually retell the story of 15.
Just chibified.
Yeah.
Whatever. Is it like does Square still have that like total wrong way of pricing mobile games still? Where they're like $30.
Making it probably like $40. Yeah.
Yeah. Like Square's the one company that hasn't figured this out yet.
Yeah. I don't know. They're not showing any prices yet. So who knows?
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I guess it's cool that that's happening. You know?
No, it's not.
I mean, more people can experience the beautiful, wonderful story of Final Fantasy 15.
Hey, you know how else they can do that? Just play Final Fantasy 15.
Hey, but not everyone has a PS4, but everyone has a phone.
Most people have a PC, and it's coming out soon.
That's true.
Maybe they just want a Japanese boy band in their pocket. I don't know.
That's true. I always want a Japanese boy band in my pocket.
Japanese boy band in your pocket.
Hey now.
Hi.
Hi.
Okay, so that does it for us for the news. So I'm going to toss it over to Jack, who has the question of the week.
Gentlemen, it is another question of the week. Here we are. This is a would you rather. So prepare thyselves.
I would rather not, Jack. How about that?
Oh, too
Oh,
bad.
got
You're
him.
going to have to, because we have to do a show this week. So here we go. Would you rather be rich in the time of feudal Japan or be middle class today? Discuss.
I'm going to say middle class today. Thanks. Bye.
Good show, Colin.
No,
And that's been us at the Tiny Disc Podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, good talk.
That's actually a really cool idea though, because being rich in the time of feudal Japan that would be fucking crazy. I don't know. So I'm just gonna, like, full disclosure, I don't know much about Japanese history. I have an idea about feudal Japan, right? What the setting's like, the general vibe that's going on there. I don't. What's the timeline for feudal Japan? Does anyone know?
Shoulder shrug. I don't know. The feudal time.
I asked the question, but I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about.
I don't know.
I don't know. You watch, you know, like that Batman anime coming out like that time.
Yeah, okay, so would you rather live in today's world,
reference?
or would you rather live in Japan with Batman in it?
I mean, hey, no, like, you know, there's little to no electricity. I'm pretty sure there's no electricity.
Yeah, it's no electricity. It goes up to like the 17th century. Ish.
There you go.
Yeah,
Probably-
I don't
or
know.
like-
I mean,
no,
you
like
get to wear,
end of-
you get to wear those baller ass kimonos, and let the
Yeah, you got
breeze flow between
servants.
your knees, and
You're rich. You're the top 1%. You got one of those badass houses, those Shodo temples.
You own samurai.
Yeah, you probably do. You probably got like a whole like crew of samurai to carry
Man.
you wherever you need to go.
Yeah,
You're on
if you're
horseback
bored-
everywhere.
If you're bored, you can just order one of them to come into your room and seppuku himself for entertainment.
Just for entertainment.
Like,
You're conquering shit. Like, you know, you probably got like all the power all in the world, man.
Yeah,
That's
I mean-
cool.
seppuku onegaishimasu.
hi.
Yeah, just come in there, just commit sudoku right there and then.
Please commit Sudoku.
Yeah. Is this a 9 or an 8? Is this a 9 or an 8?
You just slide a Sudoku puzzle on the floor in front of him.
Dude, no, my profile picture for the longest time on Discord was a picture of a guy committing Sudoku. He was literally cutting a game of Sudoku into his chest.
That is so dumb, dude.
That's good. That's good. So what I'm hearing is Colin would rather live in this boring modern day world.
You're having
instead of
middle class today.
Instead of
Because I mean, I don't know. I'm living pretty comfortably as a middle class person right now. So I don't know,
Yeah,
because being rich back then and not having like the amenities or anything like that, and I don't know, my life as being a boy who's very reliant on technology would be, I don't know, it would be completely different.
I'll add this
I wouldn't be the
wrinkle
same
in. I'll
person.
add this wrinkle in. You wouldn't know what you're missing.
you don't know what you're missing.
You wouldn't know what you're missing in either case.
Okay, I guess that's fair. But it's kind of hard to go by that perspective, right? Because like, how would I know if I'm me? I am the middle class version of me, and I'm looking at it through the lens of that. But at the same time, I mean, it is a cool idea. I don't know. So I picture myself being like a fucking leader of some like sort of Yakuza clan. back in like, some early version of the Yakuza, and they actually have a Yakuza game set in feudal Japan, by the way. It only came out in Japan, but you literally get to play a samurai, and it was sweet.
Sounds cool. Onimusha.
Basically. But you get to kick everybody's ass.
I mean, isn't
But
that
yeah.
every Yakuza game?
I mean, that's true. It's kick everybody's ass 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, whatever. That whole series might as well just call it that. But I don't know. What do you think, Robert? What's your call?
As much as I think it'd be cool to be a feudal lord back in the 1600s, 1500s Japan, I think I'd rather watch anime about that life than live it.
I think I'm right there with you. It's very quiet.
Yeah, what?
Cricket.
I mean, basically, that's what life would be like back then. Just cricket,
No, it
cricket.
wouldn't.
And
No,
then
you
clangs
guys-
of swords in the background. It's like, oh, he must be practicing again.
And then it's gonna be like, what is it? Like one of those things in your garden with made of bamboo with the water flowing in it. It just goes kerplunk every once in a while.
Yeah,
You know.
And look, I don't know my Japanese history to a T, but I know that there are many points where Japan just kind of like breaks up and it's a ton of like wars between tribes rather than like the unified Japan, and I don't want to deal with that shit.
Yeah, y'all motherfuckers seen The Last Samurai with Tom Cruise though? Like,
I love that. Listen, man. There's a joke going around about like, what is with Hollywood in casting? They're like, you got Brad Pitt in The Mexican, you got Tom Cruise in The Last Samurai.
You got fucking what was it? Matt Damon on the Great Wall in China.
Yeah,
Oh,
like, what
yeah.
is this like? What is this like? Why can't we just cast people? I don't know. It's a funny joke.
Dude, I don't know. The Last Samurai is a fucking great movie. It's
a
funny
good movie.
It is. I love that movie. It is funny because when I was talking about abroad in Japan earlier, the dude's like, yeah, when I first moved to Japan, I didn't know a fucking thing about Japan. When I moved here, like, I didn't know anything about the etiquette or anything. All I knew was Mario, and I saw The Last Samurai quite a few times.
Okay, guys, I did some research here. I have some things to read to you. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Men in feudal Japan. During the feudal period of Japan, men were valued more than women, making it a more powerful gender. This explains why upper classes, including the royal and noble military class, were very much dominated by men, although they were at times some exceptions. High-ranking men in feudal Japan. So the majority of high-ranking people were in fact men during the feudal Japan period. These included the emperors and those who were in the military classes, including the shoguns, daimyos, samurai, and although at times some women managed to get to these positions. However, these cases were extremely rare. Men in the noble class followed what was called Bushido, which simply means the way of the samurai warrior. The concept ensured samurais were highly disciplined. The samurai moral values focus on loyalty. Yeah.
Is that going to be on the test?
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't really go anywhere where I think it's going to go. But you definitely don't want to be low ranking in feudal Japan. I'll put it that way.
That's true.
Oh, that men had privileges here, I guess it says. Men had a lot more freedom than women in feudal Japan. One of these examples is the remarriage rights. Women were not allowed to remarry even after their husband's death, whereas men could marry another woman once they had been widowed. Wow. Crazy. All right.
Yeah.
So you guys are sticking middle class, huh?
Yeah, even with all that, I'd love to live in the middle class.
I'd rather be in the middle class and watch Samurai Champloo again, even though that's the Edo period. It's not feudal
Well,
Japan,
it seems hard enough just to get middle class in America now. I keep hearing about like all this, like, like all this like great jobs and wealth and all this stuff. But like, it seems to me like if you're not in lower class, or I'm sorry, if you're in low, below middle class, like to get to middle class seems like a tough slog, man.
Yeah. Man,
That's
I don't
it.
know. Just the way I see it, man, it's just, sure, you're rich, but you're also going to get, I don't know, pneumonia and then just die.
Yeah.
Because the old days.
Because antibiotics.
Scarpanito-san, he died of a fever.
Yeah. It's like he got a fever one day because he stayed out in the cold for too long, and now he's dead.
Yeah, that's back when like even like just stuff like diarrhea, like that was like life threatening.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know. All right. The old timey Japanese gold in the world couldn't buy you antibiotics.
Gotcha, guys. All right, that was it. That was the question of the week.
What about you, Jack? What about you? What would you do?
I think I would, just to be contrary to you guys, I think I'd pick feudal Japan just because I want to feel what it feels like to wear that shit, that armor.
You can do that today.
No, you can't. It doesn't exist. I don't want to hear it anymore. No, I'm just kidding. But I don't know. It just seems like you're rich, dude. You're rich. Like I just feel like life would be even more comfortable. Like you don't have the internet.
What are you gonna do? You're gonna spend all your money on I don't know, silk and spices.
I'd become.
On
shit, that
hookers
sounds
and
cool
blow.
to me. That sounds cool to me. I would travel on horseback. I would shoot shit tons of bows and arrows and shit, and
watch samurai kill themselves.
Swords.
And spend all your time at the local brothel.
Nice.
I don't know, man. It seems kind of cool, but I agree with you. It'd be a lot harder than be middle class today.
Probably, for sure. But that should do it for us this week on the Tiny Disc Podcast. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, feedback, anything you want us to read live on this pre-recorded show, you can hit us up at tinydiscpodcast@gmail.com. If you'd like, you can follow us on all of our social media channels, which are all at tinydisc.com. We also have all of our previous episodes on there as well. So if you want to catch up, want to check out some of our older episodes, do check out that website. It's pretty freaking cool. If you enjoyed what we did today, you know what? It'd be really cool if you left us an iTunes review. That it means way more than you could ever think. If not that, tell a friend. Go to the park, throw a rock at someone right now, and then tell them, hey, listen to the Tiny Disc podcast and then run away because they might chase you.
Yeah, commit a felony, Robert. Good.
Commit a
Good.
felony.
Good to say.
We are
Okay.
great influences.
Yeah, you're opening up yourself to some liability here. Let me tell you.
I definitely am not.
Yeah, them fuckers over there at the Tiny Dicks podcast.
They told me to throw a rock. And
I don't get that joke. I've never heard that one before. That's so funny.
so where can we find you guys online?
I am Collin Amano, aka booboo__55 on Twitter. Also want to give a shout out to the Horror Gamer on Twitter for trying to pull together a bunch of our smaller gamer YouTubers / podcast guys, form a little network and help us get our name out there. So shout out to him, man.
At JACCEPEDA. Mr. Sabina, if you're nasty.
Gross.
I'm so tired. Please help me. I just want to sleep.
All right, well, that's good because we're not actually ending. We have 2 more hours of podcast to go, Jack.
Yeah, we're going to redo Game of the Year. Get it right this time, right?
Yeah, we're just going to start it all over. It's like Groundhog's Day.
We gotta do 10 disc for this year right now.
Yes, that thing.
Man, you really stumbled through that one. And you can find me at Pinoptimist, PINOPTIMIST on all the social medias. Thank you so very, very much for listening to the Tiny Disc podcast, and we'll see you next Thursday.